Hello everybody! I wanted to get on here to do my first YouTube video. The reason why I decided to do this particular subject is because when I was trying to learn how to propagate snake plants for myself, I looked at a lot of videos on YouTube and they were very helpful, but I asked a lot more questions when I went to greenhouses and that was a little bit more helpful for me. So I wanted to give you guys an idea of what I do to go from a snake plant like this guy to a snake plant like this guy. So here I have one that I have been propagating for maybe 8 or 9 months. So there's 2 ways that you can propagate these. You can propagate them by taking the cuttings and putting them in soil and allowing them to grow roots and then repotting them like I've done here. Or you can put them in water and allow them to grow roots. And then once they grow roots, put them in the soil and it'll be pretty much just like this, but it's just water propagation versus soil propagation. I tried to do water propagation personally and the cuttings just totally rotted out. I don't know if I wasn't changing the water enough or what I was doing wrong, but the water propagation did not work very well for me. So I tried the soil propagation, which is gonna look a little bit something like this when you're finished. It's just gonna be some cuttings and some soil. It's gonna look kind of sad. It's not really something that you're gonna wanna show off to the guests when they come to your home. But I think my biggest issue with this was I was checking on it every week going, you know, when am I gonna get some roots? When am I gonna get some roots? When am I gonna get a little sprout? And it was not until I was in Nashville, I went to a greenhouse and I had seen something that looked so similar to this. And I asked one of the ladies about it and she said, well, the best thing for you to do is just to forget about it. Put it on a shelf, up in a corner. Don't think about it, don't water it, don't look at it. Just let it do its thing. And that's what I did. I think I forgot about it for about 2 months. And I came back and I had little baby sprouts, just like these. And it was amazing, it was so exciting. I was like, wow, all I had to do is forget about it. It doesn't get easier than that. So all you need to really propagate a healthy snake plant is just a little bit of patience. So, but I'm gonna show you guys what I do to kind of get to this stage. And then I'm actually gonna uproot this guy and show you how the roots look once they grow. I'm not gonna repot it. I'm gonna give it some more time, but I will pull one of these out and show you what the roots look like. So I have a couple snake plants here. This is our newest guy, pretty small. This is our medium-sized guy. Not quite this size yet, but a good in-between of this guy and this guy. So I'm actually gonna take a cutting from this guy. He's just huge. I'm 5'4". This thing has to be at least 5 feet. So I'm gonna take a cutting off of here. Just use your kitchen shears. Any one that looks happy and healthy. I don't want to take my tallest guy, so I'm just gonna take like a mid-sized one. These guys are actually getting kind of variegated. They're getting a lot lighter as they're growing, which is really cool. I'm just gonna take a cutting from here, just like this. So this is the cutting off the plant that I just took. Now all you need to do now is cut this into like a couple inch sections. So I'm gonna cut like here and make sure you keep them, so when you put them in the soil, you wanna put them cut side down. So I'm gonna set this in a certain way that I know which way for it to go in the soil. Another cutting here, cut side down. Another cutting here, cut side down. Another cutting here, cut side down. So I got 5 pieces of that guy. And so all you're gonna do is get a little pot, fill it with some soil, and you're just gonna stick them, like I said, cut side down into the soil. Once they're in the soil, all you really have to do is forget about them. Cut side down. Cut side down. Just leave them in there and they're gonna do their thing. You can water this guy maybe once a month, but it really doesn't need it. If you really want to be on top of it and not be patient and forget about it like me, you can water it every 2 weeks, but it doesn't really need it. It's going to do its thing regardless if you water it or not. So that is how you soil propagate a cutting from your snake plant. I'm this one is, I took these cuttings from this, and I'm trying to experiment if I re-put these cuttings back in the soil, if they'll grow more plants. I have no idea. It's just an experiment, so I'm gonna forget about this guy too. And then let's go ahead and take one of these cuttings out so you guys can see. So I'll take the tallest guy out. So these aren't in here too tight. So let me just get some of the soil off. So this is what it looks like. So the roots just grow down in the soil. They send out a little shoot. That little shoot grows, becomes a snake plant, a baby little snake plant, which I think is just so nifty and so cool. So when I replanted these guys into here, I just trimmed off this guy to about here so it can hide underneath the soil, and then put them in the soil. I'll show you what I did. So I'm just gonna trim it like that. And then I'm gonna put all of this down underneath the soil and let it grow some more roots. And that, my friends, is pretty much everything you need to know about snake plant propagation. These guys are so hardy. They're the hardest house plant to kill, in my opinion. They can survive on low light or little light, but I think they thrive a lot better when they have a lot of sunlight. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments section, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon.